when we look at how a species procreates, how does any species procreate? What is the natural way for a species to continue? There is a male, there is a female, right? And then you got offsprings. Make sense? Right? Now, if we take that, this is a very natural behavior. If you switch it up and you put a male hyena with a male hyena, is the species going to procreate? Or a female hyena with a female, is it going to procreate? So the natural order is destroyed there, right? Now, I'm not talking about morality yet. I'm just talking about natural order, right? And any species that at a large scale goes down that path and no longer reproduces enough to continue, the species dies out. Agreed? Right? And that's why in the natural kingdom, you can say, you may see some odd activities from some animals, but as a large basis, you will not find it. You will find that there are male lions and female lions, and that's how the tribe or the pride grows, right? When we see that natural method violated in an unnatural way, whether it is through any which way, you will find many other problems, even lubrication issues and ways, because you're using an unnatural method. You will now no longer be able to procreate the human race through that method, right? Knowing this, our great Creator, through all the scriptures, whether it's the Old Testament, you can read Leviticus, or the New Testament, you can read Romans, or the Quran, you will find it forbidden, right? Because this is not the natural way that our Creator designed us to be. Does it make sense, right? Some people may have an inclination towards it, right? I'm not denying that. Some people may have an inclination towards alcoholism. Some people may have an inclination towards a bad temper. But it doesn't mean that it's okay to carry your inclinations out in a way that would be deemed correct by our Creator, right? That makes sense or no, right? Now, let's be real about it. Like, I'm real, so hope I don't get too real for you, but we're from the US, we don't have filters, right? So, when you look at morality, right? We just talked about natural order, it all made sense from a natural, but let's talk about morality. What's moral and what's immoral, right? If you make it subjective, then everything is immoral according to somebody, and everything is moral according to somebody else. You feel me? Right? So we as Muslims say, we're not going to set our own morality. We will follow scripture. Whatever is in the scripture, whatever the divine Creator ordained, that's what we consider morality. So if I am asked, is it moral or immoral to rob somebody, I will say it's immoral, not because I feel it's immoral, because Allah forbid it in the Quran, because the Prophet forbid it in his ahadith, you know? Because if I make it subjective, then Robin Hood, he was robbing people, but everybody praises him, right? If you're that rich guy that Robin Hood robbed from, then you think that's horrible. Like, man, I collected all this money, you gave it to the poor, right? But if you're the broke person that Robin Hood would give money to, whether he existed or not, I don't care, right? Just an example, then he's a hero, right? One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. So when you make it subjective, then there is no morality, right? Because is incest, if I asked you, Edward, is incest moral or immoral? Why? Love is love. Why you want to judge people? There's no harm. But you said it's immoral. Why are you being judgmental? You see? In that way, if we leave morality to people, then there is no morality. So we follow the scripture. And in every scripture, not just the Quran, in every scripture, including the New Testament, including the Old Testament, including what was revealed to Ibrahim and others before that, homosexuality was forbidden, it was sinful. So we think it to be sinful. Make sense? That's it.